Kevin, are you coming to Knott's with us?
Well.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, that's the best news I've heard today.
It's going to be the time of my life.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show.
Elliot, I would invite you to Not Scary Farm, but I know you're scared.
I would go, but I wouldn't be able to go, but I'd love to go. So.
You know that I went, Steve, right?
To Knott's?
Yes.
You
on it for Ellie's birthday.
You just went? Like yesterday?
I just went. No, Thursday.
So
but we didn't get to do everything.
So you've already spoiled yourself.
Sorry.
But you're still coming?
Yeah, I still want to do it with y'all.
Wow.
It's fun, dude. It was so fucking cool.
Isn't it way better than Universal?
It was one of the coolest things I've done in a long time.
It's so much better than any of the other
There's
ones.
not even comparison.
Like, I know.
There's no...
It's cooler than Universal, you say?
Yes.
Like, there's no even comparison, dude. It's another level.
It's so much better.
In that it's scarier or higher quality?
Slightly scarier, but higher quality, and just like they actually care.
They put
about
a lot of work
making
into
like
it.
something really cool for people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, and even when you're walking around, like all the decorations, the way they have the scare zones, they have random shows that happen just like in the middle of a walkway, and it's like a performance just all of a sudden that you walk into. It's so cool. I loved it.
I heard that. I heard.
Uh-oh. I hate when you hear things, man.
But I heard this might be a little grim for some of our listeners. And Halloween is a bit grim, though. So it's okay
It is
for
a
us to
bit
get
grim.
a little bit grim. And
It's something that we only noticed recently is that Halloween can be a bit grim.
It's pretty
a little
grim.
dark.
I think people
It can
enjoy.
be grim.
They enjoy to be. There's a lot of people enjoying being grim
Yeah.
during this time. Elliot, forgive me if this offends you, but this is just my trigger warning.
Thank you.
But I heard about Not Scary Farm that there is a hanging
Of a person?
They do a hanging. Did you see this?
No, they
Did you
hang
hear
up.
about-
No.
Kevin, can you confirm?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but I know that it happened.
And that's so cool because here's why I think that's cool.
There's some evil people that just need to die.
There was a time when hangings would happen in your town and you would be like, oh shit, there's a hanging this weekend. We should should go.
That was the event.
We should go and be like, oh shit, yeah. What else are we gonna do? Let's go to this hanging. And then you'd go to like a bar or a pub and they'd be like, hey, there's a hanging this week.
Okay.
And everyone would be really excited about it.
Go to see the hanging.
Like,
Bonkers.
humans are so fucked up that they're like, fuck yeah, man. There's
Let's
a
go see this
hanging?
neck.
It also means that there were people who, because they didn't have watches, they knew that like when the hanging was happening, it was probably like noon, and so they're like, "Oh, the guy just hanged, so that means it's halfway through." Okay,
Yeah. Oh, they just hang the guy.
their lives around it.
Yeah.
Like we know the hanging's at 12, and so
High
dinner.
noon. It's a high
high
noon
noon.
hanging this week. And it's not a dawn hanging. I think a dawn hanging is for women, right?
Yes, that's correct.
But anyway, so, and that's like bizarre to consider nowadays, obviously, that people would gather around to watch a person die
In like a horrible way.
in a horrible way. Like the guillotine was more.
This is what I was going to
humane.
ask. Would you rather, if you had to choose which event to go to, a guillotine
$1,000,000,000%.
execution or
$1,000,000,000%.
the hanging?
$1,000,000,000%. Yeah, because
But
there's because here's why. There's people in the bar in that pub where like the guy's like, hey, there's a hanging this week. And the guy next to him will be like, oh yeah, last hanging I went to was real brutal, man. The guy was like barfing out of his eye. Like his puke was shooting out of his eyes.
I get what you're saying.
And he pissed and shit himself, and it was really bad. So I think I'm going to now go to a few hangings. So, and the guillotine is just like...
I guess I would just hope that the guillotine is sharp enough to make it a one...
That's their one job. It's their one job.
One thing.
Because if that didn't fully make it, that would be as brutal.
You want them to drop it from pretty high up, as high up as can be.
Listen, you guys are talking about the margin of error is very low because this is important. It's important. It's their job to make it as sharp as possible, so that because the people are there to see someone's head get cut off, get cummed off. Someone's there to see someone get a head done off.
I'm gonna go see a head get done off.
And you don't want to be there if it hits the neck and it's like doesn't go through. That's like as bad as the guy who had the real bad hanging experience.
With his you don't want to be the guillotine guy.
It's their job. It's their job. They know how high to do it.
It's like Price is Right with the big wheel. Like you got to know, you got to have enough to get it all the way.
Yeah, but that's why they don't let a volunteer from the audience do that.
That's true. That's one of the main reasons why.
That is one of the main reasons. So anyway, it's like bonkers that we used to, as a people, as humans, we used to like find entertainment in like going to watch someone get hanged or whatever. And so the fact that Knott's Scary Farm has like a hanging, like it's so cool because it's like probably an old-timey recreation of what like it was like to go see a hanging.
Yep.
Pretty cool, but morbid, and as I said, it's grim, and I apologize to those that don't find that.
Mormon?
Morbid?
It's Mormon.
Morbid.
It's morbid. It's morbid.
It is Mormon, and so I'm excited.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm excited. We're going to Knott's this weekend, bitch.
Have you done Halloween this year, Steve? Are you going to do the Halloween anything, but Halloween Horror Nights specifically?
He's out.
I'm out.
You're still out? Okay.
I'm out on Horror Nights this year. I've done it every year for the past like 6 or 7 years in a row, I think.
That's crazy in and of itself. So you're totally good to skip it.
And the past like 3 have been mediocre at best. And Knott's has just been so much more fun, and there's just like Kevin was saying, there's always something weird going on, or there's some kind of performance, or there's just a little bit more effort put into it.
Not even a little bit, dude. Some of these mazes had things that I was blown away by.
I know. Are they the ones that use like the real giant stuff too?
Yes.
Like gigantic things, like Elliot. It's so disorienting to see, like you're walking through a maze and there's like monsters that are like people in costumes and stuff, and then you'll turn a corner and this giant fucking monster that like puppet will like pop out of the wall and be like, "Dah!" And you're like, fucking holy shit, that's
and some
huge.
Some of the rooms too, they make huge.
Yes.
Like massive rooms where people are like up high
and they're doing
There was
things.
some moments that I was just blown away by. There's a new maze that has a moment that I can't wait for you to experience.
It starts to become more of a more about the effort that they put into it and the show that they put on.
It's more, that's what I would say. It's not as much as like I want to terrify
or
you as much as it's like
yeah,
just like cool. This is a cool, creepy show.
And as a fan of these types of things, you know, because people say like, "Oh, I don't like going to these things because I don't like getting scared," and it's like, I guess I don't find it scary. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm just very, very into the performance of it all.
It's like artistic too. I mean, the set designs and like the detail, and also seeing when it sucks is very funny when you can very clearly see that it's cheap.
It's fun to go to check out your local haunted houses. Like, you should look, like, people who are listening to this, all 10 of you. If you are like, I want to go to a haunted thing this year, I want to go to like a haunted house, but I don't want to pay like Universal Horror Nights prices, then like look into your like local ones, because sometimes they're real good. It's like people putting in effort to be. And by the way, across the United States, there are like competitions.
Yeah,
like people,
it gets pretty big.
Yeah, like local people in like neighborhoods will put together their own little local horror nights kind of situation, and people outdo themselves every year. There's even conventions where they showcase new horror haunted house technology so that you can come and see it and then buy those products.
What kind of technology are you looking for in a haunted house? Or what are you hoping to see?
Rope.
That's a really good question, Elliot. A lot
I think
of times,
fog machine.
Yeah, I want way more than just like a teenager in a goofy mask.
I think a lot of the heavy lifting in a lot of haunted houses is done by the rubber door separators that are slit vertically.
This is a big thing that I've always thought about. Like, is there a way they could maybe switch that up? That's one aspect
I know, there's
of
so
it that
many
I
of
don't really enjoy.
It's because the
way you get into different rooms and you have to push all this shit out of the way
and stuff.
Yeah, the flaps.
I was thinking of that. I was wondering if, especially for like Universal, or like maybe you can tell when people are coming through, so the performers can see when to like scare you better.
Yeah, they have also cameras that they watch to see.
There's another purpose for those things, which is there is a big element of interest when you hear that the haunted house has like interactive elements, because if you're just walking through and you're never touched and you never have to like touch anything, then you're essentially just walking through a museum that's kind of creepy. But if you add elements of things where like you got to touch a thing to like move it or whatever,
I'm not talking about when like bodies are hanging.
But that's the bare minimum of what they can put there for hundreds of thousands of foot traffic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to just get things that are destroyed. So it's like you want things that are interactive, and you want to remember that you had to like come into a room by pulling a thing. But you're right. I'm sick of it too. It's in every fucking haunted house.
I would love like a door. Like you just open a door and then close it.
There's just no time. It'll bottleneck people.
You should email the people at the Halloween convention, Kevin, and be like, what if you tried a door?
What if we did a door?
What if we did a door?
Just go to that convention and go to the panel. Go to the panel where they're like, we create all the stuff. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, what about doors?
You thought about a door?
You guys thought about doors? There's some other things I like to see is like, puppetry or like animatronics, like things like that.
There was some cool shit like there. Here's what I was very happy about. And Elliot, speaking of like not being super scary, the actors there aren't necessarily all trying to terrify you. They're like having fun with you. Like they like there was a bunch of times where we were having a conversation, and then all of a sudden there'd be like a guy just like standing next to us, and then he would like remark on what we were saying in like whatever character he was in, and like they just have fun with it. So it's not like all just like, oh shit, I can't breathe,
like
I'm
sometimes
so scared.
They'll just like, you'll be walking with a group of friends, and then they'll just kind of like they'll like insert themselves into your group of friends without anyone noticing, and then they'll just be hanging out with you and like walking this close to you, and then when you turn this way you see like a demon and you're like, no!
It sounds awesome.
It's just fun. It's just Halloween goofs.
Grim.
It's grim. Yes, it's grim, but we're making light of the horrors of our imagination.
if you were going to design a haunted house, what kind of theme would you? Any IP, anything?
Ooh,
I don't know. I've never actually
that's
thought
the really
about
cool
this.
thing about Knott's too is they have their own stories that they make up.
Yeah, they're not doing
and
like movies.
It's so much better than the shit that they try and shove into Horror Nights. It's so much better.
A lot of Horror Night hate going on.
After I saw this, dude, I was blown away because I was very skeptical like you, Elliot. I'm not someone who's like, I want to go see all these haunted houses and get scared and do all that shit. I was kind of just like, whatever about it. But when I went to this, I am like really wanting to go back. It was so cool. Yeah. That's why like Halloween Horror Nights really sucks because of it just does not do things well.
I watched a video on Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood versus Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. And that was also interesting because you can see different locations.
It's better.
Hollywood, they said, was better because they had more like performance.
Oh.
Yeah. But some of the houses weren't as good as Orlando's. Orlando's apparently focused.
I see.
They said Orlando focuses more on like their original stuff, and Hollywood focuses more on the IPs that they have. So they'll focus more on Chucky. And Orlando will focus more on like their OGs that they make up. There's like an exterminator thing.
I understand that because they were like the number one. I think even Horror Nights originated there.
In Orlando,
oh really?
Yeah, the Universal the Halloween Horror Nights may have originated in Orlando, but I know for a fact that for very many years it was like the best theme park, like haunted thing or like, you know, haunted house thing.
It was better than Scary Farm?
Well, for a very long time in the beginning because, you know, they were the first to do it. So they were ahead of everybody.
Scary Farm was the first.
Scary Farm was the first to do like a haunted thing at a theme park?
I thought they were. It's their 50th anniversary this year. They have a big maze for the 50th anniversary.
I'd love to look into that. But all I know is that Universal Florida had like the better fan base and they had like way more money and they were doing just like better shit over there. And people started to really love their created characters that weren't like IP based. And that's probably why they've held on to those for so long because there's fans that want it.
That's interesting. What kind of haunted house?
Man, that's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard.
What if it was a Pee-wee's Scary Playhouse?
Oh, that's fun. Like with Puppet. Oh, that's fun. Like a twisted Pee-wee's Playhouse.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
And then at the end, they have his ghost, his corpse.
Yeah. You can come have a viewing of him.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
I'd want to do something with like a time. I think a time travel haunted house.
Ooh, that's cool. Like it's all old timey in the beginning.
Or you could do that, but you could also have it's like somebody's using a device, and then I was imagining like a room where like it looks like everything's frozen.
That's cool.
Because it's like they stop time.
That's cool.
But then you could like have a jump scare somewhere.
Dude, what if when in the stopped time room there's like a time creature or something?
That you could do that too.
That sees you stopping time, and they exist in the
time
part of time. Yeah.
There's a mirror you walk past, but your reflection is an old person.
Ooh, so I love that. That's great. Let's write this down.
Go. Write it down. Email them.
And there's a room you go into where there's like World War II happening. There's like explosions all around you.
You could go through some cool shit.
And there's like military guys going like, "What are you doing here? What is this? That you shouldn't be here!" And there's like explosions, and then you
could do future shit.
Then the lights go
to the
out.
future.
Yeah, and then there's like flashing, and then suddenly you're in another room that's the future.
Yeah. The future ends up being like the year 2024, and it's completely destroyed and desolate and like blown up, and there's no life anywhere.
I like that.
So it's like the future's like we're gonna die real soon.
And then the guy who has the time machine goes, "Let's try to go further. Like maybe we fix this." And then we go further, and then you're just in a room that's silent. It's like a black void.
Oh,
existence is no longer There's no
And there's
longer existence.
one room on the way right before you hit the black void where you remember that, oh yeah, in the event of like a nuclear eclipse or apocalypse or whatever, the roaches and rats are going to be the only things that survive.
So they're just
what do you have
crawling.
in that room?
That's so great. You have these mutated, evolved cockroach rat
Splinter.
hybrid things.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you have like their society. There's these like big, gross mounds that the cockroach creatures live in. And like the rats have these
Yes.
big, like kind of intricate nests that look almost tribal in some way. Can I say that? Tribal? Can we look into that? Thank you so much, Jonathan and Victoria.
You might want to prefer nature-based or indigenous.
And the nests look
Oh.
indigenous. They look indigenous and built with some intelligence behind it almost.
If we did this, could we have it to where before you enter each time zone, it's a door that we can go through instead of
Ooh, and maybe it's like
A
a
door.
door that's just like anywhere. And it's like, yeah, we'll call it time door.
the time door.
Yeah, and you have to open it to get through.
Come on through the time door.
I love it.
We call it the time door.
And what if there's
All right, get this.
keypad? What if there's a keypad next to the time door and you punch in like the coordinates
That's
of like a
fun.
time? Is this getting too advanced?
Well, that would be tough.
That would be tough.
That would be tough.
But
That would be
maybe
tough.
it has a thing above it that tells you what year you're about to go into or something. Or maybe it's better to not know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's better to not know, and you have to just be like, oh shit, I'm in 1950s.
Yeah.
Wow, I like this haunted house. I love that. I've never seen
Do it.
that. That's a really cool spin on the haunted house. Because right now, honestly, I think everyone's just kind of like short-sighted. Like there's a ceiling that has been hit with haunted houses. And, I'm all for the amusement park versions of them like evolving in their own ways and staying that way because they're meant to swallow customers and theme park goers and stuff. But outside of that, the independent haunted house establishments have very much hit a wall. It feels like it's all just kind of like maniacs or ghosts or zombies or spiders or
Yep.
we need to look beyond these like horror icons and delve into like, kind of Twilight Zone-esque fear.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The new one that they have now is the cinema slasher one.
Ooh.
That's a new maze this year, and it's a very good one. It's one of the top ones, in my opinion.
Ooh.
I loved it.
What?
Oh no, something's wrong with Kevin. Something's wrong with Kevin. We have to end the show.
Do you remember, Steve, because apparently it's the last year they're doing this maze at Knott's Scary Farm, the one where you go to like space and it's like the alien attack in space?
Oh yeah, that one's awesome.
That one's really cool. It's like
That sounds
it's almost
cool.
like the
Last year?
Alien movie. It's the last year of it. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I mean,
that
eventually
one
they'll
was
probably
very
bring
cool.
it back.
But that was a little bit of a different, not the standard.
Not just like monsters.
it was
and-
like an alien attack, and then you get mutated
That's
and everything
true.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
I
a
think
cool one.
like they've probably done this, but like a cryptid one, all the cryptids would be
There's
fun.
cryptids.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
cryptids. In fact, there might have been a cryptid one at Knott's last year, and it was like Bigfoot and Mothman and stuff like that.
Nice,
Oh, really?
yeah.
That wasn't there, I don't think, this year.
I just got a notification that Trisha Hirschberger is playing Cyberpunk. 1999. Whoa.
What the fuck was that?
What the actual
Was that
fuck?
outside?
No, it's my like ring light.
Oh.
It just like
That was
suddenly like
crazy,
changed to
bruh.
very bright.
That's
Right, as we were
Halloween
talking about
time.
this, the haunted stuff.
It was Trisha. Trisha hacked my
Yeah.
computer.
It's October 1st. It's time now
What?
for Halloween.
Yeah. Isn't that's what we were talking about?
Yeah, we got a month of this garbage before we can get the actual
Elliot.
holidays.
Oh, fuck.
I have one thing I want to ask you. and nothing more. But we recently were talking about that like alien, those Peru aliens, and how like everyone's like, that's fake as shit, go fuck yourself. And that guy had like already like put like other animals' bones and things together to make like something similar to that before this, and these look very similar to those, and they seem assembled the same way and shit like that. But there's still like researchers that are like actually being sent to like look into this. Like I believe someone from NASA
I heard this too.
is like looking into it, is like actually going to Mexico to talk to this guy and like look at his specimens and shit. And so there's like a bunch of like new research that's probably going to come out about these things. And maybe they're fake again. And if they are, maybe that guy should have some jail time or something, or fines. I don't know. It's weird to fuck with people like that, especially when they're like at a time when people are like feeling kind of like helpless and the world is becoming a dangerous place as we go along. But there was, so there's new research coming out about it. And there was this post that I sent to you a few weeks ago in our chat thread about like essentially like psyops, I guess.
Like a Reddit post, right?
It was a Reddit post that about someone saying like we need to like be more critical of like everything, and we need to think about how like there's definitely people in power that want to keep the status quo and benefit directly from us not knowing about aliens based on just, you know, the infrastructure alone that they benefit from. And those people have money and power and probably send people to like deflect conversation and to poo-poo discussions about these things, and potentially even like try to discredit those that bring forth evidence and such. And it brought forth all this whole world of thoughts in my head about the Peru aliens and all of that. And I just want to know what your thoughts are on all of this latest stuff.
What are your thoughts? What were the storm of thoughts that you had?
Well, I mean, my thoughts are that I'm skeptical of everything, but I don't immediately. My skepticism is still has a hint of curiosity. I think more so than a lot of people in my life, because a lot of people in my life would see those Peruvian aliens and be like, "Nope, that's fake," and then never think about it again. And I would be like, not that this makes me better or anything. In fact, I think this makes me ill. But I think, well, if aliens were real, how do we know they don't look like that?
Yeah, that's a valid thing.
And that kept my energy going and my interest going about this up until even now. I'm still curious about it. I'm curious about NASA's findings. I'm curious about scientists updating us on their own studies of it and what will happen as a result of it. And I'm even more curious about like potential bad faith individuals that are paid to deflect the conversation and how credible that is. And if it's just paranoia in general and the hope that it's real and the want for this to be real because it feels lonely out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's just sit with that. Let's just sit with that. So no, they're not real, Steve. You're out of your mind. Aliens aren't real. They're never going to visit this planet. There is no cover up, and anyone who says otherwise should be ridiculed until they stop talking about it.
That's so funny. That's so funny because
I don't know why you keep bringing this subject up.
Oh no, Elliot works for the government. Elliot's
what are you
a
talking
psyop.
about? I'm just an honest, normal person. I have not been funded in any way by the Pentagon.
I just suddenly don't care about aliens anymore.
I did a complete 180.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the hell you're talking
It's
about.
fake. You're wrong. Aliens don't exist. Let's move on.
It's fake.
And it's like I'm
It
totally
wouldn't look like that.
And I am willing to accept and I'm totally like with everyone on the idea that like those Peruvian aliens are probably fake because they do look hella fake. But what if alien mummies look hella fake?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a bunch in that whole thing that doesn't make any sense. I am on the side that it is not real, but if someone is from NASA that's not like a host of their like YouTube channel or something, like a real person who's going over there to check on it, then that's great. But the psyop thing, I don't necessarily think. I think it's usually more paranoia, and people who want to believe something need to believe that people don't want them to believe it, and so you got that going against it. But I do think if that guy got up in front of people and was like, it uncovered the box and showed alien mummies, and they turned out to be real, and he's had nothing but been made fun of forever. That is the funniest thing in the world, in the history of the world, and maybe
the funniest thing in the history of the world.
Because only on our planet would alien life be disclosed, and we would be like, those are child's bones.
Well, you know what's funny is like we have a history of killing people for like less theory, like
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and we have a historical habit of killing people for discovering like truthful things, like. The first person that was like, the sun is not a god, it's like literally a ball of fire, was like skinned. So like nobody believes. It feels like there's I guess there's an unhealthy amount of skepticism that is like, I think we should be equal parts curious, equal parts skeptical. And like, I think what it all boils down to is like critical thinking, right? Like we can dismiss things in a way that isn't like, hey, fuck you for thinking that's real. We can dismiss things in a way that requires a bit more critical thinking, like the benefit of the doubt and all of that.
Yeah, and I think being curious and being skeptical should go hand in hand and be the same thing. Because if you're truly curious, you want to know what the truth is. And in order to know what the truth is, you have to have like critical thinking skills and be truly skeptical. But I do want to know also, either way, I find that the Peru thing so interesting because what would possess someone to do what he's doing if it's
this
fake?
is what I was going to ask.
He's still doubling down. That's
like
so
over and over again.
It's either he completely believes it based on whatever he's studied about them, or I can't figure out what the motive would be to do all this.
The other thing I heard was that like maybe these are a facsimile of an alien assembled by ancient peoples, which I find not as interesting as its alien bodies, but it would be interesting if 1,000 years ago there were like people made these little guys, out of like chicken bones and shit. Like that's kind of interesting. Like why did they do that?
Yeah, that's interesting for sure.
Like I've heard that
it's not proof of alien life though.
Right. I've heard that if it's not alien life, here's another interesting potential thought.
Yeah. Have you guys watched Encounters?
No, what's that?
Oh.
It's from Spielberg's, I believe, company. His company produced it, but it's the newest docuseries on aliens and stuff. I've only made it like an episode in, but it's really high quality.
I'm gonna write this down. Encounters.
Each episode is like standalone, and so it covers different people's stories.
That's cool. I think well, go ahead.
If we found out that the look of these aliens, like the ones that they have uncovered, were the real one, like they are aliens, would you be disappointed at what they look like?
No.
You're fine with that?
Fine with what?
Personally. Well, go ahead, Elliot.
What was the question?
Elliot's saying if
Kevin's saying-
if those Peru aliens are real, would it disappoint you that that is what aliens look like?
Absolutely.
Not me, because
I'm
they
in a
look like
similar boat.
they're like this big.
Exactly.
I think
the
that's
disappointing part.
awesome.
I think it's funny.
I think it's awesome.
funny.
What if they are
I
wish
want
they
them
would have
to
been a
just
little
be
bigger
not
or a little
human.
small.
not
I want them to
bipedal?
look-
You mean you don't want it to be?
Yeah,
You don't want
I
two
want them
legs and
to
two
look
arms. Well, that's why.
weird.
Did you guys ever see? Is it called Arrival?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rival is a great depiction of aliens.
That was a really
So
cool modern depiction of aliens. Yeah. It's been a while since we've seen an inspired alien design that doesn't just have two arms and two legs.
Yeah.
But I think people don't. It's interesting because, like, there is some psychology there, I bet. Like, the idea that it's bipedal means that it could be real.
Well, and they say in our evolution, the reason we advanced so much more is because we were able to stand upright and use our hands, and it freed us up to be able to build civilization.
Whoa.
So you
Yeah,
could,
that would be the reasoning behind the bipedal, I think, would be that we evolved to that level. Like, if they're a much evolved species, it's because they came from a similar...
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it could be as simple as
it's still just
you know,
natural selection. It's just their nature
yeah.
would be similar to ours, and it's selecting similar traits.
and
That
you
I can get behind.
You know, and there are theories too that like human life began because of organisms on an asteroid or something that
Yeah.
like crashed into the ocean and then became life eventually.
And spermia.
And maybe the key to like the next level of evolution is like bipedal, you know, because, you know, apes seem to be multipedal. What do they call that? Ambipedal.
I don't think I've heard this.
Like they can run around on their
all four
arms
or
and
walk.
legs, and they could be bipedal. They're like,
Yeah.
But I don't think they can stand, like, just stay standing.
No,
quadrupedal.
it's more of a effort.
Right.
I stumbled into the because this is where this stuff gets real slippery, slopey. Is I found myself on a Bigfoot subreddit, trying to determine whether or not it was a sincere subreddit or like some of the flat Earth ones, which just make fun of flat earthers. But the Sasquatch community is alive and well, and
I know,
not
it's so
maybe as
crazy.
big as the UFO community, but they've seen things too.
I think the Sasquatch community dwindles as time goes on because, like, we're at a
As the
point in
Sasquatches
time.
dwindle.
I think about how, like, if we're talking about Earth things, like there are undiscovered parts of the oceans, but I don't know if there are undiscovered parts of our land.
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know the actual facts behind that. If there
Oh,
is like undiscovered parts of the land,
I
because
mean,
there's definitely like tribes that live in places
Yeah.
that like are.
But I think
unknown
we're
pretty much.
aware of them and we leave them alone or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're just, you know. But like, you know, the Bigfoot stuff to me is like, what?
Where are they?
And you can't compare it to the alien thing because I know someone would be like, well, why don't we have the alien stuff too? And it's like the alien stuff's a little more interesting because we're talking about the vastness of space in
Right.
which we ourselves have no capability personally of exploring.
Well, I would say the UFO thing is just as easily a different dimension thing rather than an outer
That's
space
true.
thing,
I guess that's
which would
true.
make, because they say that some of the stuff is related, and like the Bigfoot, the Skinwalker Ranch stuff. That's where you get into like the the Skinwalker who goes around and does all the cattle mutilations and what have you, and scares people. And they made the worst TV show
Right.
that I've ever seen about it, but. Is so wild, but they say that it like filters down from one. It's all the same phenomenon, just in different shapes.
just different ways. Yeah.
I had Owen and I were working on this idea of these guys that were like hunting for cryptids, and the what they end up finding out is that like they are real and they're actually just God's mistakes. Like they're like mistake creatures that he like
Yeah.
messed
Yeah.
up on. and he just didn't want to kill them. So instead he gave them like a way to hide themselves, like some kind of like talisman or something that could hide them.
That's great.
And so sometimes they just like forget it or something, and then they
like their keys.
They forget
short circuits.
exactly, because they've been living here among us forever. They just have this like way to cloak themselves because God didn't want to kill them.
It's like the platypus.
Like the platypus, exactly.
Just like the platypus.
Well, guys, wasn't this fun?
We're gonna call it because we don't have any ads and we don't have Joe Beretta.
Yeah. And it's my 1-year wedding anniversary, so this has been really great.
Today?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we even doing, man?
What are you gonna do?
Check on her. Maybe.
Yeah, she just went and had another round on her birthday.
Yeah, so she's in bed, so I have time. I just kind of, that meme of Quentin Tarantino in the house just staring at things.
Oh yeah, you're just doing that. Well, thank you for your time, Elliot. I'm glad you were able to.
We're glad we had you
share your time with us.
I'm always happy to talk about. I just love hearing people be like, "Oh, what about aliens and Bigfoot?" It's like, what a dumb topic.
I know Bigfoot is. It sucks. Like
Bigfoot
if someone's like, "Yes,
it.
I believe in aliens," and in the same breath says, "I also believe in Bigfoot and shit," I'm like, man, you
can't. You gotta go with the. You have to let Bigfoot in too.
Yeah.
You can't.
Elliot, do you think Bigfoot's real?
I don't know if any of it's real, but he's coming into the fray for sure. You can't say aliens, of course, but Bigfoot. I draw the line there.
I don't
believe that either.
Because I think
there's the same amount of hard evidence for both.
But I feel the same.
He's right.
Like, when I think about the vastness of space, and then I think about the closeness,
that's where it changes.
The searchability of Earth. Like we have drones, we have tracking, we have things that can see infrared heat signatures, and people are out there looking for Bigfoot.
That's not what it is. They have a talisman that they use that camouflages.
It protects them from heat signatures and everything.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening. Elliot, please wish your wonderful, beautiful wife happy birthday, happy anniversary. Get well soon.
Thank you.
All of the above.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody, thank you for listening.
HelloFresh.
And HelloFresh.